Hey y'all, so today we are, nope, we're not. So tired. But I have to get those tomatoes in the tomato patch. Why can't I think of the word? Hey y'all, so today is Sunday and we are at the farm for a little while today because it's going to be super hot. But I have to get those tomatoes in the tomato patch taped up, and I can't wait any longer. It may even be too late now. I'm just waiting on Bob to get here. Somehow I beat him here this morning, which is not typical. But he is working on another project, so he'll be here in just a few minutes. But he has the cooler with ice and water, so I'm not going to go out there in the tomato patches like bull sun right now without any water. So hopefully it won't take me too long, maybe about half an hour, to get all those tomatoes taped up. I'm hoping that it's not too late. And I'll show you. Before I get started, we actually put cattle panels up, and I don't think that I have filmed that or photographed that. My intention was to do the Florida weave, and I did on the very back row, which was only like 4 or 5 plants on that last row, and we ran out of cattle panels, so I just did the weave there, and when I did it, they look great. So hopefully they're still great and standing up like they're supposed to be. But the others, we just put the cattle panels there, and now I need to take my little tape and tape them to the cattle panel. So I'll show you what I'm using, and I got this last year, and this is what I use. It is a stapler, and it has, let's see if you can see, it has this like thin, very thin plastic. It reminds me of what is that stuff called where it's like pink or orange, and you put it around trees, or you mark your property lines with it. I guess that's called tape too, but that's basically, this is the same thing. And then it has staples that, I think I hear Bob coming, that you put in the stapler, and you wrap it around the limb and you staple, and it puts your little tape around it, and it holds it, and it doesn't damage it or hurt it in any way. So I'm going to use that today on the tomatoes, but I'll show you what they look like before I tape them up, and then what they look like after. Hopefully they're not all like laying on the ground and growing funky to where I can't get them taped on that. I've kind of been avoiding it just because I've been so tired. There's been so much going on with the store and just other things. I've just kind of really slowly started neglecting all of my gardening stuff. So, I mean, that's the reality of it. So here comes Bob, and I'm going to grab my water and take you down there to the tomatoes. So here we are at the tomato patch on the farm. Bob is across the pasture weed eating. He's trying to get something out of the wood line over there. So if you hear that, that's what that is. So we're going to take a little walk over here. I'll show you what's happening, what's not happening in the tomato patch, and try to stay hydrated and cool because it is hot in Georgia today. So let's see. Flip you around. Say hey, Trey. Say hey, Trey. Trying to stay cool. All right, so here is the tomato patch. This little patch was actually a briar patch, and we bush hogged that down, and because it was so thick in there, no grass or weeds, I mean, there really wasn't a lot in there. So we just tilled everything under real good, and I'm going to show you in just a minute where we chipped some trees right here, and I'm wondering if that's why things aren't happening right here. But so anyways, back to the dirt. The dirt, I did not do anything to it. I did not fertilize anything. I was in a rush to get all of these tomato plants in the ground because they had been in their small pots too long. They seem to be doing okay, so that's good. But we just tilled this up where this briar patch was, and we haven't had a lot of weed pressure. It does look like I've got some grass kind of creeping in around the edge over here. And I should be able to just take the hoe and take care of that real quick because it looks really good. They should be way bigger than they are, and I'm wondering if they were stunted because they sat in their small pots too long, or are they stunted because this is just Georgia clay. But after this growing season, my plan is to come in here with some cardboard and some wood chips and whatever else, you know, compost, and try to keep this area weed free, briar free, and be able to amend the soil. So we'll see how that goes. But let's take a little walk around real quick before I get out here in the sun and tape these up. They don't look too bad actually, so at least from here. So we'll see. So we're going to start right here, this front panel, and like I mentioned, the wood chips in the ground. Now, if you notice, the wood chips kind of stop right here, and that's where the plants seem to be growing better than these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants right here that don't seem to be growing as much as the other ones. And what we have learned is a lot of the trees that we are chipping, like Chinaberry, for instance, we're trying to get rid of those, and we've chipped a lot of them, are, I think it's allelopathic. Anyways, they have something in them that causes other plants to not grow. Like it's some sort of chemical or something in them that keeps other plants from growing. And so I am wondering if the lack of growth in these 5 plants compared to the other ones around them is from these wood chips. And I don't remember what these wood chips were. Like I don't remember what this tree was that got chipped right here. It's likely a Chinaberry or a tree of heaven, I think it's called, which is another invasive one. I don't think there were any Bradford pears here. And then, so these are looking pretty good. As far as taping them up, I think, so like, it might be okay. They've actually grown a good bit. That one's not looking too great right there for some reason. But we haven't had anything eaten on them, which is awesome. And they've got blooms. I thought about planting, because these stick out, I don't know, 3 feet or so from this last fence post. I thought about putting some green beans there, but I know for a fact that the rabbits and the deer will love to eat that. So you can see how, let's see, can you? How wavy my fence is, because I intended on doing the Florida weave, not putting the panels up here. And also I was in such a rush to get these tomatoes in the ground that when I did, I just put them in the ground. I did not pull a line or anything to keep them straight. But so far what I'm seeing is nothing is laying down really, which is amazing. I mean, maybe one over there is bent and laying down. So we'll see what we can do with that. And then this, I'm gonna have to put another string already. This is the the one that I did the Florida weave on, and they look great. Okay, so this I have finished, and I think this is a pretty good example of how that tape works. Just, here, this one's better. You just wrap it around the plant and staple it on the other side. Bob put out our pitiful little cucumber starts. They have a long way to go, so we'll see what happens. I also got another line of string up here to weave. So this should be good for, I don't know, maybe another week or so. And Trey is over there trying to find some shade. So I'm going to go get him under a tree. It's really hot. I'm done with what I'm doing today. Of course, it's in the full sun, so I just did the very minimum that needed to be done, and that's all I'm doing down there until either the sun goes down over, you know, off of the tomato patch, or well, it's not going to cool off, so I guess till the sun goes down. But even Trey, I'll turn you around. Let's see. Trey, is it very hot? Yes, it's very hot. He has water. He has a water bowl over here beside me, and I have put water on his paws and under his arms to cool him down. He is cooling down, but he's very much a mama's boy and would not just relax in the shade. When we were down at the tomatoes, he he must be with me at all times. So which is nice, but also it's, you know, I worry about him, especially when it's this hot in the sun. But he's okay. He's cooling down now. I'm cooling down now, and I'm just waiting. Bob is still across the pasture. He is chainsawing now and trying to get to where he can get that trailer. And I'm just kind of waiting here just to, you know, to have another person here while he's running the chainsaw. I mean, even if a tree doesn't fall on him, just to make sure he doesn't get overheated. And that he's safe and he's okay.